The idea of battle is severely overlooked in many different mediums. Whether it be in movies, Western cartoons, or events like boxing and wrestling, most fights are depicted through a superficial lens. That's why when I think of great fights, my mind instantly goes to anime. Like Naruto vs. Pain, Rock Lee vs. Gaara, Netero vs. Meruem, and Saitama vs. the Mosquito. Yes, very cool and epic fight. We salute you, Saitama. Jokes aside, anime and manga do an excellent job of showcasing some of the best choreographed and most impactful fights of all time. When I think of a thematically perfect fight, I think of Netero vs. Meruem. Two individuals at the forefront of their respective races and competing for the top of the food chain. What I love about this fight is that it was completely and utterly one-sided. Meruem, who was initially depicted as this existentialist monster, has become one of the most human individuals in Hunter x Hunter. Rather than fighting, he's trying to create peaceful dialogue between him and Netero. In contrast, Netero is pulling out all the stops, doing whatever he can to defeat his opponent. Within these two individuals, the line of humanity gets blurred, and the conclusion of this fight reveals a horrific message. That humanity is the true source of evil, and we will do anything in order to survive. Whether it be the emotional battles, the ideological battles, or even a volleyball tournament. Yes, I'm talking about Yu Haikyuu. Anime does what no other visual format will do. It makes us relate to each individual character who's fighting for their lives. I think it goes without saying that the most relatable and impactful fight in anime is definitely Rock Lee vs. Gaara. A tale as old as time, the failure versus the gifted genius. But what Naruto does is allow us to see the struggle and see the pain that Rock Lee has gone through his entire life in order to get himself to the level that he's desired. In contrast, everything seems so easy for Gaara. He doesn't even have to move, and his sand will protect him. And so through the course of the battle, we see Rock Lee challenge himself. We see him push himself past the breaking point, and the heartbreaking reality is that he fails. Talent will always surpass hard work. However, then Naruto doubles down on this message through the lens of Naruto vs. Neji. Throughout the original Naruto, we see him struggle, painfully, but we also see him succeed. But Neji was a born prodigy, and that made him condescending. And as a result, he lived in a mental prison, restricting himself from freedom. He believed that fate and destiny was outside of his control. And when Naruto punches him and becomes victorious, the reality hits him. The circumstances of fate and freedom are determined by the individual. Now, I could talk about Naruto for days on days on days, and there eventually will come to a time when I will do that. But the last battle I want to actually take a look at is Naruto vs. Pain. I think it was at this moment when I realized that battle is an art form. And that's because this is by all means an ideological battle. Pain is the realist looking at the shinobi world through the most chaotic and destructive lens. Naruto is the idealist, fighting for his dream, the dream of Jiraiya, and always looking at the optimistic side of life. This battle is amazing because Pain truly challenges Naruto's conviction. With the cycle of hatred speech, we learn exactly just what type of mentality that Naruto is living through. Hate leads to more hate, war leads to more warfare and pain. But by sticking true to his ideals, Naruto actually takes the W. And what's profound is that he defeated pain with his words. Rather than continuing the cycle of hatred, Naruto just threw it away and took the burden on himself. I find that when I'm watching fights in animes, I mirror myself in the characters that I'm watching. And that's because, in a greater sense, the realest battles are those we face every day. Content creation is a battle I'm not sure I'll ever truly win. But on the off chance that I do, I'll continue working hard. I'll continue pouring my heart and soul into every piece of content that I make. And hopefully somewhere down the line, I will make my dream a reality. Until that day, this is Darun's World. I'll catch you, Space Cowboys.